Thank you, Speaker, and I'm pleased to rise today on the matter of public importance put forward by the Leader of the Opposition. And oh my God, have I heard some hypocrites today talk in this chamber, and no more than I'm going to go straight to the point when we talk about housing, and we keep getting called blockers this and blockers that. Let's go straight to the Minister for Planning, who would have to be one of the biggest hypocrites sitting in this chamber when she talks about blocking development. In her own electorate, she blocked development. Not only that, just this year, blocked a 400-lot subdivision in Cape Patterson that would have delivered affordable blocks of land for young Victorians, for millennials, for Gen Zs. And why did she do it? For votes. We all know Bass is a 200 vote seat margin, 200 votes separating Bass from Labor retaining it to Labor losing it. And the whole motivation behind it, was for votes. That was it. The member for Bentley, his whole 2014 campaign was blocking development. His whole campaign was based on that. And they stand there and go, blockers, blockers. Rubbish. What's even worse about the Minister for Planning was in PAYAC last year, or after the budget this year, sorry, in PAYAC this year, when asked about that Cape Patterson development and asked, did she supply a statement of reason for that development, she said, yeah, I think I did. I'll take that on notice. Sure. The minister actually supplied the statement of reason, but guess what? When you go to the council Hansard or the council's recording, when they asked the officer present, did the minister supply a statement of reason for this? He said, no, she didn't. She did not supply a statement of reason. That is on Bass Coast Council's website. So she misled PAYAC. It's as simple as that. But let's get back to the MPI, and let's get back to actually the member for Pascoe Vale earlier quoted, and I will state this. Where is he? No, that's Tarneek. Where'd Pascoe Vale go? Here you go. Member for Pascoe Vale. It's not a lie if you believe it. And that's what this government bases its whole campaign on. If we keep telling ourselves it's true, even though it's not, it's got to be true. If we keep telling ourselves Victoria is an economic powerhouse of Australia, it must be true. But we won't talk about the debt. We won't talk about the interest bill. We won't talk about the fact our housing targets are in the toilet. We're 46,000 homes already behind in the first 2 years. 46,000 homes. But no, it's cheap to live in Victoria. Oh my goodness, it's cheap. Everybody's doing it easy. It's that good. It's not a lie if you believe it. It's not a lie. Oh my goodness. And let's talk about what has gone up in this state. Housing, up 6%. Health, 4%. Education's up. Taxes are up. Rent's up. Fuel's up. Rates are up. 2024, gas went up 28% and power went up 22%. But no, we're bringing it down. Everything's going the other way. And even today, another tax on units, $11,300. Another tax. After the Treasurer said, the new Treasurer, we won't be introducing any more taxes. It won't happen. Nothing to see here. It's not a lie if you believe it. It's not a lie if you believe it. And honestly, this government is failing on so many areas. And actually, the member for Tarneet, he referenced GAIAC just before, funding for infrastructure in growth areas. What he failed to mention in the legislation that's just passing through this parliament at the moment has given the government the ability to move the GAIAC funding out of those communities, like Melton, like any growth area. They can move that funding now. Doesn't have to stay there. Where's that going to go? Give you one guess. The SRL, to prop up that massive black hole. the massive black hole that is the SRL. And I've heard members here today, they've been talking about our health system. Oh my goodness, can't believe they went there. Been talking about our health system, and how short is the memory from just a couple of weeks ago when we talk about a broken health system, and Lois Casbolt from my electorate, the 91-year-old grandmother that suffered because of a failed health system. And the Minister for Health was sitting there, and I wish she was back in here now. The Minister for Health was sitting there and actually said to me, wait till all this comes out. I can't wait. I can't wait, because what I'll also reference today for the Minister for Health's education, that poor grandmother sat in that hospital on a Friday for 8 hours on a stretcher in a hallway because the West Gippsland Hospital, which should have been started by now, built in 1939, is not fit for purpose anymore. Oh, but we're investing in health. Victorian health, there's nothing to see here. It's not a lie if you believe it. And that's what this government bases its whole strategy on, is the continual misrepresentation of the state of Victoria. You know, we talk about the economy, we talk about the debt. There's been a couple of members here actually that talked about debt today, and they referenced the federal government and what happened there. The debt in this state has gone up 415% since 2014. 415%. We are going to hit $194 billion. Debt is going up at a massive rate, and then the interest we're paying on the debt. The interest that we're paying on this debt is out of this world. It's ridiculous. And that is if the government can hold on to the current credit rating. If we lose that credit rating, if the state of Victoria loses that credit rating, this state is going to be in a lot worse condition than what it is now. And I don't know if it can get any worse or not, but I tell you what, we are in a lot of trouble. And this is why we do need a change of government. And I agree with the member for Tarneet, bring it on. Bring it on. Because I will argue with this government every day about housing, every day about health. And I hear them talk about schools and their investment in schools. I'll tell you this, Acting Speaker, in the seat of Narrabeen, we have not had a new state government school built for over 50 years. The highest growth area in Australia, not one new state school built in over 50 years. So where do they invest in schools? Where? In Labor seats. In Labor seats. This government has brought in over 60 taxes since 2014. 31 or more of those properly related. 31's a good number. I think that's the same. I think it's the same approval rating the Premier's got at the moment for preferred Premier is 31. 31. Negative 31. Great number. Every tax, and I said this in my maiden speech, in my inaugural speech in this place, every tax or charge that you put on developers, it gets passed down the line. And that's why housing's unaffordable in this state. That's why millennials and Gen Zs under this government have no chance of owning a home. None at all. The 63 precincts isn't a housing policy, it's a tax policy. Correct. It's all it is. Triggers windfall gains tax, and now today, another $11,300 on top of that. Every time this government says, well, you know, we're making it affordable, it's going the other way. It's opposite. There is nothing affordable. And talk about cuts, let's talk about cuts. Let's talk about the government cutting 3,000 public servants. 3,000 public servants announced by the Treasurer, this government is going to cut. Yes, bring it on.